Secret weapons, I love them. Plugins that everyone's forgotten about, I love them even more. Hi, welcome to the Crates Motel. My name's Conan. In today's video, we're going to look at the SPL Vitalizer MK2-T from Plugin Alliance. It's quite an old plugin. You can't resize it. It hasn't got loads of bells and whistles. It's not a glory plugin. It's quite a subtle plugin, which I use for mastering and on the mix bus. I think it's kind of one of those plugins that people may have forgotten about. So let's jump in. So here we are in Studio One. This is the pre-master of a track which I've mastered for a client, but I like to use this pre-master when I test out plugins because I like it sonically, and it's a really good track to test out plugins, mastering plugins basically. So let's just have a quick listen. So there you go, I love that track. So basically in the SPL Vitalizer, there's a lot of science going on underneath the hood. It's a voodoo plugin, I call it, but I'm not really interested in that today. What I'm interested in is how it sounds and how it can be used in masters or on your mix bus. So if you want to learn more about the science of the Vitalizer, by all means visit SPL's website or read the manual, and that will tell you a little bit more about what's really going on underneath the hood. So I'm just going to explain the controls quickly. Drive is not your traditional drive knob. It's not pushing it into saturation really or pushing it into distortion. It more controls the amount, how hard you're pushing into the processor. So it's not the first knob that you would touch really. What the best thing to do really is have everything set up how you like, how it sounds, and then push the drive knob to see how far you want to push the actual processing. It's really nice to do that. With the bass, you can soften, sort of lively up the bottom end, make it nice and round, or you can have it really, really nice and tight. Either way, just zero that. And you have the function here to be able to compress it slightly. What I like to do, which is what I'm going to do on this track, is have it over to the left a little bit so it's nice and round and warm, really nice musical bottom end. And then I compress it very, very slightly. So I'm just getting a little bit of gain reduction, just flashing up on the GR. Just here. Let's just take that back to zero. The mid-high tune, what I kind of think it does is you boost anything above where you've got it set, and you're attenuating anything below. It's kind of back to front though. It starts at 22 kilohertz here and goes round to 1.1K there. So for something like this, I might have it around about 5K, and it will just kind of bring forward the mid of the track. But what I kind of think of it as is being a knob which balances out how the mids sit with the low end and the mids sit with the high end. The process knob basically controls how much processing that you're doing with the bass and the mid-high tune. Honestly, trying to explain this plugin is really like trying to explain the offside rule in soccer. It's really best just to get stuck in. I do find myself saying that a lot lately about plugins. And then the LCEQ is a good way of EQing some of the areas that you may have attenuated using the mid-high tune. So let's say, for instance, I've got this round about 5K and I want to bring the vocals out a little bit more. I'm going to have this round about 1.5 to 2K, push the intensity up a little bit, all very, very subtle. And then finally, the stereo expander, sort of almost like a Hass effect. I believe it sends some of the right-hand signal to the left, some of the left-hand signal to the right, and it's out of phase. So it kind of, it expands. It does exactly what it says, stereo expander, but it does it in a different way than what a lot of imaging software does. And it's very musical, but you have to be very subtle with it. I very rarely push this over 2, 3, 4 maximum, because what it starts doing is it starts swallowing up the middle if you push it any further. For creative effects, by all means try it, but with mastering and on a mix bus, think more subtle. So let's just zero everything. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to play around, but I'm going to explain roughly what I'm going to do first. I'm going to bring out the bottom end. I want it to be nice and round, and then I'll just tighten it up a little bit using the compressor, which is really, really nice to have that all in one plugin. And then I'm going to bring out around about 5K, so some nice clarity, that kind of golden area. And then I'm just going to bring the vocals up a little with this LCEQ here. Again, I'm not exactly sure what it does under the hood, but I like what it does when I'm pushing it down here. And then I'm just going to expand it slightly. It doesn't need a whole lot of expansion, this track, because it's very nicely balanced across the stereo image. But I'm going to show you using the stereo expander just so you can hear what it does. And then I'm going to flick it in and out of bypass so you can hear. So let's just really concentrate on what this plugin can do to a master. Bear in mind, I've got no limiter on, so I'm not really worried too much about pushing this in terms of volume. And there's no EQs or compression or anything else on a master. You can literally see I've just got the SPL Vitalizer. So I'm going to play around and drop it in and out of bypass, and you can hear what it does. I'm going to try and keep the levels the same so you're not fooled by the louder is better. I think most of the time, if you keep this output around about 0, it does pretty much keep it round about the same level. See how much rounder and warmer the bottom end instantly gets just by taking the bass over this side. I'll show you what the tighten up does as well, but I really love this area here. Little bit of compression, bringing the process up very slightly. Well, we're about 5 there. You see, for me on a track like this, the tight's probably going to be better if you're using it maybe on individual instruments, maybe a kick drum or something like that. But for a track, for a master, I love this area here. So you see, it just makes everything open up. For me, what it does is it kind of, rather than what your usual imaging software seems to do a lot of the time, which is bring the side information up, that classic trick where you bring the side information up in the high end and it opens everything up. I've done a video on it, in fact. Classic trick that mastering engineers have been using for years with mid-side. But what this seems to do is it seems to, I mean, I haven't even touched the stereo expander yet, but what it seems to do is it seems to open up the mid of the signal really musically without sounding digital and fake. It just sounds very, very musical, and like the whole signal's been stretched out in a real warm, creamy way. I'm hoping you're wearing headphones to listen to this, and you'll hear what I mean. It really opens the mix up in a really, really nice musical way. Just opens up so nice, really, really nice. And without sounding harsh, I mean, I'm actually pushing this probably a little bit further than I would normally push it. The bass sounds really, really nice. I'm probably pushing these EQs a little bit further than I normally would. But it's very crisp, but at the same time rounded and warm and just really tubey. So I'm just going to bring the stereo expander up to around about 3 gradually, and see if you can hear what it does. I don't want it can start sounding a bit phasey if you start pushing it too far. Just so musical. I absolutely love it. It's not often that you can get clarity and really clean crispness without it sounding harsh. And this is what this plugin for me excels at. It can take, I mean, this is a really well mixed track. It's very well balanced already, to be honest. But this just gives it that cream on top, which is what you want to do as a mastering engineer. You take somebody's work of art and you just add that extra 10% to take it to you know, the cherry on top. This plugin in particular is a real cherry on top plugin for me. And I'm really glad that I used it on this track, because it's just added that little subtle extra 10%, which I think the mix needed to just take it over the finishing line. So there you have it, the SPL Vitalizer MK2-T. Like I kept saying throughout the video, I was kind of gushing over this plugin a little bit, and I really do love it. It's one of my favorite plugins, and I think it's like maybe 7 or 8 years old. And I still go back to it, and every time I use it, it amazes me. And it's just this wonderful, musical, tubey sheen. It just sounds so posh. It has a lovely kind of, the same sort of poshness that some of the Neve EQs have, and it just sounds, yeah, posh. Posh is the best word to describe it, I think. And like I said, it's one of those kind of forgotten plugins, I think. I think a lot of people brush over it now because it's so old and because you can't resize it and you can't oversample a million times, etc. But, you know, honestly, go back to that plugin. If you've got it already, then bring it back out again, give it a whirl. And if you haven't got it already, then I suggest you should at least demo it, because you can pick it up so cheap. I mean, I see it sometimes for $29.99 on the Plugin Alliance forums and on the site and stuff. So it's definitely worth picking up, or at least demoing. So thanks ever so much for watching. Please subscribe for more mixing and mastering tutorials and reviews. This is the Crates Motel. My name is Conan. Be good to each other. Till next time.